Welcome to Hood Champion Boxing and Sports. In boxing, you find a way to win or you find a way to lose. These heavyweight rankings have moved around a little bit. I see the sanctioning bodies have jostled some of these names. Let's take a look at this. It's going to be a short video, but if you're interested in what's going on in the heavyweight division, you'll probably enjoy this discussion. Now, this is what we're still showing as our ring heavyweight champion, which is Alexander Usyk. But then you see the rack and stack 1 through 10. Fury, AJ, no surprise. Look at where old Parker has found himself. Parker, who's come from what I would say is damn near obscurity, hooked up with the secret society and Tyson Fury. And my boy is like Tyson Fury. Let's just call it for what it is. Back at the top of the heavyweight division in the number 3 spot. Zhang, maybe he'll increase his output when he rematches Parker. I fully expect Zhang to knock Parker out cold and for Zhang to get back to where he was at number 3. That's what that green soul means. With the 1 next to it, is that Parker moved up 1 position. That red soul pointing downwards with the 1 next to it means Zhang's moved down 1 position. Okay, then you come and see Hrgovic at number 5. Now, the reason why I did this chart this way, and I have Frank Sanchez at the top left corner, Hrgovic in the top right corner, is because those 2 guys I feel are going to be the wild cards, and as far as the moves and plays that they're going to make this year, we could see them probably break into the top, the 3 and 4 positions. Then you have Frank Sanchez, Jared Anderson. I think he's barely hanging on. As soon as he gets in there with a real fighter, I think Jared Anderson gets tranquilized. He doesn't seem to have it all together anyway. He's another one. They keep talking about Ryan Garcia. They should be talking about Jared Anderson. He doesn't seem to have it all together. Joe Joyce, I mean, he just won. He's one goddamn little box of goddamn chicken and chips away from falling off the face of the map. Joe Joyce needs to figure out what he's going to do. You just can't come plodding along like a goddamn elephant and think that that's going to work, especially when he's got some guys here who he's probably going to have to fight sooner than later, since he won his last fight, who are agile, powerful, and they're just going to exploit Joe Joyce's biggest handicap, which is his lack of speed. He has a good chin, but I don't know if that's enough for Joe Joyce. Or like I like to call him, Hungry Joe. Then you got Wilder at number 9. No surprise. And then Caballel. Caballel is another wild card. But when you take a look here, right? This is what gets a little interesting to me. Let me pull this over for you. Okay. You can see that Usyk, WBO champ, IBF, and WBA. You see Joseph Parker beat Zhang. Now Joseph Parker is the WBO interim world heavyweight champion. But when you come and you start taking a look at what's underneath that WBO, this is where it starts to get a little interesting, right? Anthony Joshua's in the number 1 spot. Zhilei Zhang's in 2. Okay, we know Zhang's going to fight Parker. He'll probably beat him, and Parker will fall off. You have Frank Sanchez in 3, Jared Anderson in 4. Now, we know Frank Sanchez is supposed to fight Agate Caballel. Jared Anderson's returning in Corpus Christi, I think this weekend. I got to double check. But I know he's returning soon in Corpus Christi, but he's not fighting any of these killers. You have Fabio Wardley, Daniel Dubois. I'm surprised Wardley's ranked higher than Dubois. This is at 15 March. And there goes Caballel, Hooney, Jermaine Franklin moved down a position. Jagba moved down a position. I'm surprised to see Jermaine Franklin still, getting some respect. But you look here, Andy Ruiz dropped down 11 positions. That's what that 11 in the parentheses means. So Andy Ruiz is totally off the radar now. Now I'm going to show you something funny about Andy Ruiz. You guys remember Deontay Wilder said to Andy Ruiz, if you don't fight me, that's it. You'll never get another big opportunity. And Andy Ruiz Start talking about he's gonna leave it in God's hand and how he wants 15 million, and Wilder was sitting there in a restaurant. According to Wilder, he was eating a gourmet meal and smoking a cigar and acting like a big shot. Anyway, how did Wilder know, right? This is my question. Because the secret society is in full effect. But how the hell did Wilder know that Andy Ruiz was going to be dropped from the rankings for all these sanctioning bodies? Now, we just looked at the WBO. Andy Ruiz is out of the top 15. He dropped 11 spots. But check this out. Look at the IBF. Okay? Andy Ruiz is nowhere in the IBF. Look, come on, 14, 15. He's not in there. Right? Then look at him here. The WBC. No Andy Ruiz. Gone. And look over here, the WBA. No Andy Ruiz. Gone. Andy Ruiz, like Deontay Wilder said, has been kicked out of all of the sanctioning bodies. That is crazy. Now, he hasn't been fighting, but I think it really pissed some of these sanctioning bodies off that he had an opportunity to fight Tyson Fury, to fight Deontay Wilder for the WBC mandatory position and for the WBC title, and he turned them both down. Now, we all know the WBC often strong arms the other sanctioning bodies, and I feel whatever Mauricio Dano Suleiman says, I feel the other sanctioning bodies follow, because the WBC for the most part takes the lead on these rankings and the plans for the current and subsequent calendar and fiscal years, and when they have these meetings to discuss which fighters are going to make mandatories. So I'm not surprised that Andy Ruiz kind of complicated some things for the WBC to where now he doesn't have any options, period. It's actually pretty sad to see. But my question is, how did Wilder know? But anyway, when you look at his top 5 under the WBO, you got Joshua, Zhang, Sanchez, Anderson, Hrgovic. Come over to the IBF. You got Hrgovic, Joshua, Dubois, Anderson, Sanchez. You have a lot of the same names. Come under the WBC, Joshua, Sanchez, Cavill, Jogba, Jared Anderson. There goes that name again. There goes Dubois. Deontay Wilder moved up a position to number 7. Then for the WBA, you got Alunga, who may never get an opportunity. Joshua, Parker, Dubois, Sanchez. Then you got Pero. Wilder's at number 9 and Cavill. When I'm looking at these names now, there are 2 names that's really getting my attention. That's Frank Sanchez, the Cuban Flash, and Filip Hrgovic. And that's why I put their faces at the top left and right corner of this main slide. Now, Filip Hrgovic is in a kind of, in my opinion, an interesting situation, because he's the mandatory to the IBF strap. But I just have a feeling, I have a feeling he is not going to get the opportunity he deserves to fight for that IBF belt. I don't think they're going to strip whoever wins between Usyk and Fury. I don't think they're going to strip him of that IBF belt, make it vacant, and then have Hrgovic. The number 2 spot is vacant and face the number 3, Anthony Joshua. I think whoever wins is going to be able to keep all 4 belts. Either do a rematch, but I think there's a 25% chance they'll do the rematch, and I think there's a 75% chance the winner will face Anthony Joshua. And I'm telling you that because Eddie Hearn keeps talking about, yeah, there's a rematch clause in place. However, there's a certain person who has special powers who can affect change, meaning Turki Al-Sheikh is the guy he's referring to. And the change he's talking about is to maybe still guarantee the loser an opportunity to fight for the straps, or just pay them X amount of dollars and tell them get the F out of here. And I wouldn't be surprised if that happened. But the problem is, with that plan, the person who would be getting the shot wouldn't be Filip Hrgovic. And that's just awful. But when you look at what Filip Hrgovic is, ranked number 1 for the IBF, I still think he gets overlooked. He's ranked number 5 for the WBO. He's ranked number 8 for the WBC. And Filip Hrgovic is not ranked by the WBA. So we got to wait and see how that plays out. But he's still in a good position because when you look at the ring rankings, which do matter, Filip Hrgovic's ranked number 5, okay? But then the other name is old Frank Sanchez. You see underneath the WBO, he's ranked number 3. Underneath the IBF, he's ranked number 6. Underneath the WBC, he's ranked number 2. And underneath the WBA, he's ranked number 5. So Frank Sanchez is holding strong, very strong. So it's just a matter of Frank Sanchez getting past this guy right here, ranked number 10 by the ring, Caballero. And then I think you're going to see Frank Sanchez, man. He may end up getting an opportunity to face somebody in that top 5 because there's no more moving down the ladder, no reversing. But I think Frank Sanchez is just, one opportunity away from really getting himself into a great position. And I'll tell you right now, if in fact Anthony Joshua ends up fighting Filip Hrgovic for the vacated IBF strap, Frank Sanchez is going to become the mandatory to the WBC strap. So Frank Sanchez is 1 or 2 fights away from fighting for a title, possibly undisputed. Well, I'll say 1 or 2 opponents away, because one opponent could be 2 fights. But if I say 1 or 2 fights, that means, it means what I just stated. I think he may be a couple opponents away from his title opportunity. He just had to see what happens with Usyk and Fury, and then AJ and Hrgovic, and then the rematches that are involved, and also if Mr. Hocus Pocus, Turkey Al-Sheikh, can do his little Saudi magic and make some things happen and other things not happen, Frank Sanchez may be seeing an opportunity at a title shot sooner than later. But I just think it's very interesting when you look at the rack and stack of, what we have here. You can see Makhmudov, although he lost, he bubbled up 1 spot in the WBC. The WBC has the most changes. But when you look across the board now, Makhmudov, he's not in the WBO. Makhmudov, position didn't change in the IBF. He bubbled up 1 position in the WBC, and he's not ranked at all by the WBA. So Makhmudov still has some building to do. He was supposed to be the next big thing, but he fell short when he got bing-binged by Caballero. And Deontay Wilder's still in a good position, but Wilder's going to have to figure out what he's doing. Because I personally think Deontay Wilder, and this is sad, but it is what it is, I think Deontay Wilder is maybe he has one more opportunity to take a fight that's going to be offered to him, maybe in Saudi. And if he turns that down, like it's being reported that he turned down Parker and Zhang, we may see Deontay Wilder fall out of the rack and stack for the ring rankings and all of the sanction bodies, and Deontay Wilder's career may come to a close. And I'm not wishing that on him. I'm just telling you. It just seems to me, now that Turkey Al-Sheikh is involved, he's shaking up the heavyweight division big time. And the sanctioning bodies are following suit because, they're getting paid. So they're going to do whatever they're going to follow Turkey Al-Sheikh's lead. But damn, it's going to be crazy. So what you're going to see happen to this rack and stack of this top 10, Caballero will probably lose to Sanchez, even though Caballero can fight. He'll fall off. Deontay Wilder may not fight. He'll fall off. Joe Joyce may fight somebody. He'll fall off. Jared Anderson may get caught running up and down the road with a gun in his hand biting people. He'll fall off. And then these other guys I think will keep bubbling. So it's a matter of who's going to break into, who's going to replace the number 7, 8, 9, and 10. Well, I think Wardley, Dubois have opportunities. F.A. Jabba may have an opportunity. And outside of that, I'm not sure. But there are obviously some opportunities for guys to replace this the number 7 through 10 ring ranked heavyweights if they can't get out there and produce. But we just have to wait and see. But the wild card here, in my opinion, is Frank Sanchez and Filip Hrgovic. I think they can find themselves fighting for, a strap, maybe even getting themselves, if they win something, unifying. Hell, they could end up finding themselves fighting for undisputed, man, the way the stars could line up. But we just got to wait and see. But the two people I think are going to fall out of here the quickest, I think Deontay Wilder and Anderson. Maybe Joe Joyce. Cause I just think Hungry Joe is too slow. Wilder and Anderson. Wilder can get right back up there, man. I just don't think he wants to. But I would say Joe Joyce is gonna fall off of this list, and then maybe Wilder, because I just think Wilder's acting now and everything else. I just don't think Wilder cares. I think he's chilling. But that being said, that's the latest and greatest with these heavyweight rankings. It's a lot of moving pieces. There's some fights in the works that should be happening here in the next couple of months, very shortly throughout the next couple of months as well. And we're going to see what happens. But right now, heavyweight boxing is big business in Saudi. The Saudis are putting up the money. And we're going to see if they continue to shake up the heavyweight division and start to ease into those other divisions like they've already started, and just see just how far down in the weight divisions they're willing to go. Hopefully they get down to 168, 154, 147, even 140, 135, and we can have some fights made that maybe otherwise we wouldn't have seen. That being said, y'all keep cool. Watch out for Filip Hrgovic and Frank Sanchez and those guys making a move. Not just in the title contention because they're already there, but I think fighting for a title and maybe even fighting for a unified or undisputed opportunity. I just think they're a couple opponents away, and they're going to be right there. Y'all keep cool. I'm in the breeze.